Hello. Um, Welcome back to Fate Stay Night. I intended to make this a longer video than it could have been, but I do have to go drop off pick up my sister from her World Cup watch party. So this will be about 40 minutes, I want to say, longer than the last one, but not by much. Anyway, so last time I did that one, which resulted in a bad end, so this is clearly the good option. So let's go down to the basement. I step into the darkness. It's a room made of stone. The lights are out, but the room itself feels like it's alive, and a faint blue light suffuses the whole place. There's a sanctuary underground? No dust or cobwebs anywhere. It looks like this place sees a lot of use. I'm not sure how far back it goes. I look back up the stairs I just came down. The staircase hugs a curved wall. After descending the curved stairs, I look up and see the entrance is about 10 meters above me now. The ABC absence light, but the gently curving staircase between the mind of a centipede crawling its way through the cathedral. Then I notice a door. It's right at the bottom of the stairs. There's a symbol on the wall. Beyond it, a deep darkness beckons me. Almost as if it were drawing me in, I find myself stepping into the darkness. I step through what seems like an entrance of some kind. It's damp. The floor is all slimy and it's hard to walk. Reminds me of when I was cleaning the school pool. Moss covers the entire floor. It feels like my feet are sinking into the ankles and into some kind of rock covering the floor. Stop suddenly. The nasty sensation beneath my feet is bad enough, but now there's a horrible stench. I pinch my nose shut. This isn't some temporary odor. It's permeated the whole room. It doesn't smell like fish or gunpowder. It smells like formaldehyde. The chemical reek of it has stagnated in the room like thick mud. My senses seem to have been numb from the moment I got into the basement. I'm long past tension and nervousness, and yet my heart expands and contracts without a break. My limbs are moving so weirdly it feels like I might wrench out every nerve in the body. And what's worse, my eyes have grown accustomed to the darkness. The darkness fades. I hear drops of water falling. It's almost like that serves as the starting bell. What I couldn't see before is suddenly clear. What I see is an all too familiar living hell. Death lined up all in a row. Debris is piled everywhere. The stench of death covered by antiseptic. I thought this was all a lie. I want to believe none of this is real, but I can't deceive myself. I can tell in an instant, even in a room so full of corpses, not one of the bodies here is truly dead. We're alive. We're all alive. These corpses, they can only be called corpses, however human they once were, are all alive. Why are they still alive? How are they still alive? I look over over each and every body. Not one of them has retained their original form. Imagining what happened to every one of these sacrilegious forms is too terrifying. They're more like the husks of dead trees and corpses. Some have been broken down to the point that their flesh has seeped into the cracks of the stone pavement. Some are hung against the wall and are little more than nests for bugs. Whatever their arrangement, these figures have only torsos and heads, and even those are pitifully ragged. I don't even need to know why. The corpses are being eaten away in their coffins. I don't know how it works. Each corpse is welded into a coffin. The coffin sucks the nutrients from them. The flow of life. The coffin is extracting magical energy, soul. Little by little, the coffin sucks the life out of its prey in such a precise amount that it neither kills it nor allows it to truly live. The wind moans through the chamber. It's almost like a single scream from the mouths of every corpse here. Their throats have long since decayed, so they can't scream for themselves anymore. By now, their throats only barely serve to carry air or terror to their lungs, which still the corpses scream. All but inaudible, they scream. They must be in terrible pain and so very afraid. They continue to shriek, unable to accept that their bodies are being eaten alive as they gradually lose their shape. I hear a creaking sound. The coffin in front of me gurgles. It's oozing. The corpse's head is turned toward me. Something falls out of it. Its swollen lips are moving. In a voice that isn't a voice, it asks, "Where am I?" That's what it wants to know. I'm about to scream. No, I can't even scream anymore. It didn't say I was in pain. Didn't ask for help. Just want to know what this world was. Trying to understand. Did that child find themselves in that state when they came to? Before this, they must have lived normal lives, slept no need, but one day they woke up and found themselves here. The question must have come from the hope that this is just a bad dream, being trapped in a coffin, unable to move, their limbs rotting. My heart's breaking. This is so unimaginably horrible, but why? Why do they seem so strangely familiar? I've never seen any of them, but I recognize every one of the corpses. This is my first time here. I shouldn't know any of them. None of them are connected to me, so why do they act like they know me? What's that guy? Why are they staring at me? I have a share something in common unless that's just a coincidence. Why do all these corpses look like children of the same age? And then
いや、よく来てくれたエミヤシロ。
comes out of nowhere. A hand claps my shoulder from behind. The voice is friendly, like a greeting from a close friend. I go completely stiff with shock. I can't even turn around. Only I don't have to turn to see who's behind me. Kirei Kodamine. This church's priest, the man responsible for this little piece of hell, and the devil, the last person I should have run into right now.
全く間が悪い。そろそろお前が来る頃だと思ってな。食事の準備をしに行ったのがまずかった。そうだ。前回はろくなもてなしができなかっただろう。私なりに気を使ったのだが、入れ違いになってしまったか。
I can't say anything. Priest's hands rest heavily on my
だ
shoulders.
が、不法侵入は感心しないな。そのようなことをすると、見なければいいものを見てしまう羽目になる。例えば、そう、お互いの関係を白紙に戻さざるを得ない真実を知ってしまうとか。
The priest sounds more cheerful than I've ever heard. As Kodamine stands there behind me, hands on my shoulders, I can tell he's smiling. It's indescribably terrifying.
どうしたエミヤシロ。話をしに来たのだろう。黙っていては意味がないぞ。拍子抜けだな。それほどこの光景は機械かね。
He sounds so cheerful even when he's saying such horrible things. Does this man not feel anything in the face of this horror? Do I even need to comment on how horrible?
なんだ、それは冷たいな。お前にとっては不快でも、そんなことはないと言ってやるのが情けだろう。そもそも、彼らとお前は兄弟のようなものだ。お前がそのような態度では、彼らも救われないと思うのだが。
What did he just say? So happily. What did you say?
この死体たちとお前は仲間だったと言ったのだ。形はどうあれ、お前たちはあの地獄から生還した者たちだ。血肉のつながりはなくとも、その絆は兄弟のそれに近いと思うのだが、どうかな。
So that's why I thought I recognized him. This is a continuation of what happened 10 years ago. I'm back in that hospital room. My head is spinning. Children who have lost their homes and parents. They were sent to an orphanage until they were adopted. But before that happened, Mia Kiritsugu adopted me, so I never knew what happened to those kids afterwards. I've actually avoided finding out. The orphanage was at the church on top of the hill, and I could have gone there any time if I wanted. But I held back. I thought that wasn't fair for me, who did get adopted, to go visit the children who still hadn't. But that's why I decided that if I were to meet them, it would have been bad to be in town. We would just bump into each other, chat, lie to catch up, and most importantly, I've gotten over the fire in hell. As small as our town is, I always dreamed of a reunion like that, but it never happened. Kodo.
そうだ、エミヤシロ。エミヤキリツグに引き取られていなければ、お前も彼らの一員となっていた。わかるか？お前はまたも一人だけで助かったのだ。周りの誰もが平等に死んでいくというのに、お前だけが輪を乱して生き延びた。どうかね。自分自身大した不平等だとは思わないか。
My heart starts beating again. I'd been frozen stiff a moment ago, but suddenly I remembered.
いや、私は責めているわけではないぞ。むしろお前のそれは喜ばしい。エミやシローの生き延びる才能は大したものだ。実際、私もお前が最後まで残るとは思ってもいなかった。だからこそ、最後はこうして兄弟たちに再会させてやったのだ。お前は本当に運がいい。ここは今日限りで閉める予定だったのだが、今まで10年間、サーバントの餌にするために彼らを生かし続けたが、それも終わりだ。やり始めた時ほどの濃い魂の摘出は望めぬし、もはや餌の必要もない。あとはお前とお前のサーバントを仕留めるだけになったのだからな。
You fucking piece of shit! Those words shattered the restraints that had been holding me still. I moved my paralyzed body, pushing clear of the hands on my shoulders. I leaped forward, boiling around to face the beast. Kodamine, it was you! As I face him, I put distance between us. In that moment, I feel a powerful impact from behind. That's weird. I can't breathe. Something sharp protrudes from my chest. It looks like the head of a spear. That can't be. How could a spear be growing out of my chest?
ああ、そういえば言っていなかったな。改めて紹介しよう。彼が私のサーバントだ。
I turn around. There. I see a blue-colored spirit when his weapon thrusts through my chest. He jerks me free. At the same time, a searing, intense pain rocks my entire body. Red splatters the floor. I collapse onto the slimy, mossy ground. I try to push myself to my feet, but my body's too heavy. I can't move. While I may not be paralyzed anymore, my body is incapable of moving for entirely different reasons now. The pain in my chest is unbelievable, blotting out the blood loss and dimming vision. I can't pass out. I've sustained fatal wounds numerous times. They were all bad. They all numbed my senses. But this is different. This is different. It's a fatal wound for sure, but the pain is just too intense. My vision distorts. The instant I pass out from pain, more pain jolts me back awake. I can't feel my limbs. I can't even tell where I am anymore. Many things I feel are vomit-inducing pain, and the temptation just disappeared to escape this agony.
殺してはいないだろうな、ランサー。それでは今まで残していた甲斐がない。
I can only hear voices. My eyes are open, but I can't see.
命令は守るさ。たとえそれがいけすかねえものでもな。
Monster's voice is devoid of emotion, but I can barely hear.
よろしい。では支度をするぞ、ランサー。マスターの窮地はサーバントに伝わる。セーバーが到着するまでおよそ半時というところか。
ことみね、このガキそこまでは持たねえよ。死なせたくねえんなら血止めぐらいはしとけ。
不要だ。死ぬのならそれで構わん。
My mind is fading. The pain finally becomes too much. My mind lets me faint. I stop the pain by digging into my wound. The pain resumes. I'm on the verge of sinking into oblivion, only to be dragged into a world of searing pain. I wonder if this pain isn't going to stop. I want to die right now. I know that. I know, but if I faint here, I know I'm never going to wake up. I can't even remember what I'm doing. I feel like I'm just drifting through white-hot pain that will bring me to nothing. Saber. I grit my teeth, trying to enjoy the pain, trying to cling to my own fading awareness. I can't end it all here. I can't let myself drop out of the war so easily. There's still a promise I haven't fulfilled yet, and if I believe she's the most important person in the world, I can't just disappear here. When she awakes, there's no sign of Shiro. She makes her way to the living room, thinking she might be preparing a late lunch, but she finds no sign of either Shiro
ま
nor
た
lunch.
一人で出歩いて出かけるのなら声をかけてと言ったのにどうしてシロは人の話を聞かないのか
Saber sits on the veranda, muttering to
ま
herself.
ったく一人で出歩くのが好きなのはわかりますがこれでは協力している意味がないではありませんか
Saber lets her feet dangle over the veranda. Eventually she grows tired of this and she looks up pensively. The sky is an ashen gray. A heavy canopy of clouds slowly drifts overhead. She can see breaks in the cloud cover in the distance. It should clear up by nightfall. If the stars are visible, she will be able to read her fortune for tomorrow. She still remembers how to read the stars. Her major mentor taught her long ago. In life, she only looked dead to see whether she was taking the right path, but tonight, just as well, she decides to try to predict a certain someone's future. possible, she hopes for a bright tomorrow. She wants to predict any dangers that might lie ahead and learn what she excuse me, when she needs to guide him in the proper direction. He's so reckless. How can she not worry about him? She won't sleep peacefully unless she can at least read the stars.
さて、問題はこの町から観測できる星の位置ですが。
As she thinks back, she realizes she's not once looked up at the sky before today. Her brother has always been winning the Holy Grail War, not reading fortunes in the stars. She knows this isn't like her. Even so, she still considers trying to read the stars and anxiously waits for night to come. This represents quite a change of heart for her. She chuckles, thinking she's just like the girls in love she's read about in books before. She looks up at the sky.
ああ、セイバー。シロがどこに行ったか知らない？
リン、
Saber bolts upright.
なんでしょう。私は別に白の軍門に下ったわけではありませんが。
Saber gives a hasty excuse, blushing deeply.
あれ？もしかしてお邪魔だった？
When Lin smiles wickedly, perhaps it's because they have been living under the same roof, but Lin can read Saber like a book. Shudo too, for that matter. She has good instincts when it comes to other people's affairs. She can tell there's something between the two of them, and so she has a pretty clear idea what happened the night before.
まあからかうのは後にしておいて、冗談抜きでシロを知らない？イリアの熱が上がってるみたいだからちょっと手伝ってもらおうと思ったんだけど。
イリアスピールが、彼女の容体は落ち着いたのではないのですか？
それがどうにもね。シロには黙ってたけど、あの子そろそろ限界よ。聖杯戦争っていう儀式が終わらない限り元には戻らない。あの子のキャパは破格だけど、それでももういっぱいなの。今はまだかろうじて容量が空いているから余分な機能が働いている。けど満ちてしまえば一番不要な人間としての機能を捨てるしかない。
Oh no.
イリアスフィールはね、聖杯戦争が進めば進むほど壊れていくように作られているのよ。
Lin's words are ominous and even a bit obfuscating. Saber doesn't completely understand what she's talking about.
あ、いいのよ。今のはわからないように言ったんだから。イリアのことは置いておきましょう。
ランスターのマスターが判明したのですか？
うん、まあ分かったっていうか、前から分かってたっていうか。実はね、ランサーのマスターは魔術協会から派遣された外来のマスターなのよ。それ自体はとっくに分かってて、ついさっきそいつのねぐらを見つけてきたんだけど。
リン、そのような危険なことは避けるべきです。敵の陣地が分かったのなら私に言ってくれればいい。
私だってそのつもりだったわよ。けどさ、外から様子を探ってたらどうもおかしいのよ。で、留守っぽいなって中に入ってみたら、あったのは血の跡とレイジュが亡くなった左腕だった。それ以外は何もなかった。体ごとレイジュを奪われ、しかもあの出血量じゃ生存は絶望的でしょうね。ランサーのマスターはとっくにやられてたのよ。
ではランサーはすでにいないのですか？10日前シロを襲った後に他のサーバントに倒されたと。
だったらいいんだけどね。結婚はもっと前のものだった。これどういうことかわかる？
サーバントを倒さず先にマスターを倒した。そうしてマスターからレイジュを奪い、ランサーと契約したマスターがいるということですか？ですが
残っているマスターは私とシローだけでしょ？けどランサーはまだ残っている。ってことはマスターじゃない魔術師がレイジを奪ってマスターになってるってことだけど、セイバー、そういうのってできるものなの？
いいえ、レイジュの移植はマスターかサーバント、そのどちらかによるものだけです。いかに優れた魔術師といえどレイジュを奪ったところでマスターにはなれません。
I'm just gonna point this out here. The priest is a mage, and I'm saying this as someone who just learned it. and these two don't know it yet, but me, you, the audience, everyone, but these two know it.
そう。じゃあもう一つ。マスターっていうのはさ、聖杯が消えてなくなっても霊樹が残っていて、かつサーバントさえ残っていればいつまでもマスターなの？
そうですね。リンの言う通りです。霊樹とサーバントさえ残っていれば、聖杯戦争が終わったとしても、その魔術師はマスターとしての権利を。
I wasn't expecting to actually voice one. Saber falls silent as she realizes what Rin is really
で
asking.
は、リンはランサーのマスターを殺し、ランサーと再契約したのはその。
ええ、それ以外ないと思う。そう思うとランサーの行動にも納得がいくのよ。あいつさ、他のサーバントの様子を探るのが役割みたいだったじゃない。戦えば自分の正体を明かしてしまうっていうのに、あいつは自分の正体を隠すでもなく他のサーバントにちょっかい出してた。
I'm gonna be entirely honest, I thought that was just because he was Lancer.
それってつまりあいつは諜報専門だったってことでしょ？
同感です。私と戦った時も彼は最後まで戦わなかった。宝具を使った以上、見せた相手は倒すのが私たちの定石だというのに。
そう。だからランサーのマスターにはもう一人サーバントがいたのよ。ランサーに敵の正体を探らせておいて、その後に正体不明の戦闘専用のサーバントをぶつける。これって必勝法でしょ？まあランサーにしてみればいい迷惑だったろうけど、6人のサーバント全員と戦ってその手口を調べ上げた上で主の元に帰るんだもの。6人全てと引き分けなんてある意味とんでもないやつよね、あいつ。
Rin closes her mouth, lost in thought, as if following Rin. Saber suddenly feels a chill down his spine. Lancer's master has already been killed. The unidentified master uses his overheard spirit as strong as Lancer's fully for espionage. And just as that master seems to have expected, the only remaining servants are Lancer and Saber. They face such a powerful enemy that letting Shiro out on his own is dangerous even during the day. There were multiple enemies to fight, but now there are not many more enemies to defeat. If Shiro is the only one left to defeat, the enemy might not follow their earlier strategy.
シローはどこに行ったのか知りませんか？
Now that she's had the thought, she can't stop worrying. Shiro cannot be left alone. Even now, her master may be in grave danger.
どうだろう。知らないから聞いたんだけど、もしかしたら綺麗なとこかな。あいつこの間も綺麗なんかに相談しに行ったんだし。
あの教会に？
何をセイバー、怖い顔して。琴峰教会に含むところでもあるの？
いえ、そういうわけではないのですが。
Wait, Zero. That church is nothing but holy. Stagnant Death and Stagnant are linked in that place on par with Ryu Dotem. The moment she thinks she might be in a place like that alone, an image of somewhere other than the Emiya house flashes through her mind. She stares into the distance towards Kodamine's church on top of the hill. There's no time to delay. Saber leaps out into the yard and jumps onto the wall.
ちょっとセイバー、いきなり何よ。
教会に向かいます。後のことは任せました、リン。
Without looking back at Reen, Saber jumps off the wall. She moves with all of the speed of a bullet fired from a gun. She neither slows nor stops on her way to her destination. If anyone caught sight of her, it would look like nothing more than a gust of wind. A streak is silver and blue. The instant she reaches the top of the killing Texas side of the enemy's territory, Saber armors herself. She arms herself without a second thought. She decided to put on her armor once inside the church, but she couldn't help herself. The instant the church comes into view, her fury overtakes her, and she is armed and armored without even truly thinking about it. It just burns. This knowledge that she's been feeling gives her own chill running down her spine coming from her mouth as a hopeless sense of death reaches her nostrils. Why this is happening, she isn't sure. What she does know is that the shooter is on the verge of death. There is no time to waste. He is grieving until he could die any second. The pain and cold of warmth into an unbearable nausea that grips her whole body. And that is less than a thousandth of the pain she lives with. She's not going to make it, even if she moves with godlike speed she won't survive. Every second brings him closer to death, and she may arrive just in time to watch her master die. As soon as she imagines that scene, she feels all sense and reason clear. All she can do is run to her master as fast as she can. If godlike speed won't will not bring her to him in time, then she must simply break even the laws of God. She struggles to control her anger as she glares at the church. The tightly shut church doors offer no obstacle to her, simply blown wide open with the force of her approach. Rows of pews fail to even slow her down. Smashes through the chapel, passes through the court, and rushes down the stairs leading to the church. Behind her, the church is left in ruins. Saber is not usually so violent. For all she knows, she opened the door calmly. She may not even remember expending so much magical energy in her run through town. She simply could not control herself. So fast and out of control that she practically rolls down the stairs. The death closes in on all sides. When she finally sees what horrors the basement holds, her fury overwhelms her. Fury directed at herself and at the enemy responsible for this.
悪いがそこまでだ、セイバー。
She doesn't even hear Lance's voice as he bars her path. All hope of control or restraint is gone. However much she might try, she can no longer control her strength. Her lord is somewhere in the darkness. In the back, he is lying there, face down, at the center of her room, peopled by living corpses. A pool of blood spreads up beneath him, and the sounds of his frantic breathing echo all the way to the sanctuary. He's alive. Relieved though she is, she shudders to think how long she left in the
Shiro.
room. Saber enters the back room, but a guard blocks her way, holding his long spear behind him. Whispering meets Saber's gaze fearlessly.
よう、悪いがそこまでだ、セイバー。
She doesn't hear him, so she doesn't stop.
てめえ、いきなり見境なしか。
His ability to insult Saber while parrying her attack is frankly impressive. Lancer manages to block Saber's surprise attack with his spear, but he can do nothing about the sheer strength behind it and retreats back to the nearby wall. There's nothing in Saber's way now. She doesn't have the time to deal with Lancer. Her master's on the verge of death and she has to save him.
そんなに坊主が大事か？そりゃ構わねえが、ならなおのこと、俺を放っておくわけにはいかないぜ、セイバー。
Saber stops as she heads to the back.
それはどういう意味ですか、ランサー。
いや、何な。そいつの胸を串刺しにしたのは俺なんだが、実はこれは二度目でね。以前は確かに殺したってのに、生きてやがったもんだからな。今回は念を。
貴様、シローにゲイボルクを使ったのか。
安心しろ。心臓は外してやった。だが呪いはそのままだぞ。
This sounds familiar. Rama.
セイバー、貴様とてこの槍の呪いは知っていよう。因果を逆転させる原因の槍。こいつの呪いを受けた者は、よっぽどの幸運がない限り、運命を変えられない。まあ、単純に言ってしまえば、ゲイボルクによってつけられた傷は癒されることはない。呪いを受けた者は決して回復できず、死に至るまで傷を背負うことになる。この世に、この槍がある限りな。
At that moment, the air changes. A flicker of intelligence and reason lights in Saber's eyes.
ようやく理解できたか。そこの坊主を助けたいんだろう。ならまず、俺との決着をつけなくちゃな。
Lancer's bestial bloodlust drives him forward into Saber's reach. He's deadly serious, but
正気ですか、ランサー。この狭い室内で僧兵であるあなたが剣士である私と戦うと、そのような愚行、あなたの考えとは思えない。今ならば見逃します。その槍を置いて去りなさい。このような不本意な戦いであなたの首を取る気はない。
それこそ愚行じゃねえのか。一体どこの英霊が自分の相棒を置いてくってんだよ。俺は何も取引をするためにそいつを刺したわけじゃない。俺はな、お前と殺し合いをするためにここにいる。
I don't think you understand. Saber is effective against Lancer. He's not lying. Lancer has no intention of letting either of them leave alive. For him, this is the first and only battle where he can truly go all out. Lancer's wish is not for the Holy Grail. His wish is to fight a battle worthy of heroes. Such a simple wish, one any servant should always have granted, has been denied to him. so he has no intention of missing out what may be his final chance, even if the situation happens to be unfavorable.
いいでしょう。ならばその槍を見事叩き切って捨てるだけだ。
Saber readies her invisible arrow and faces the Blue Knight.
よく言った。白状するとな。貴様が最後に残ってくれて嬉しいぜ、セイバー。
Lancer's spear pulses with light. Saber confronts him without hesitation. The rematch begins with a desperate blow from both sides. Okay. Finally. I'm going to end this video here. I'm going to save the next bit for Friday. That being said, I will see you all next time. Goodbye.